Welcome, everyone. Oh, sorry for that slow start. Welcome, everyone, to Puck Drops here. It's day 24 of this suspended season, NHL, coronavirus. The league is still suspended. They're not canceled yet, but the league is still suspended and a lot going on. Of course, so we'll talk about as the prospects are moving in and out through teams. I've heard a few of those people getting drafted and signed since there isn't anything really going on game wise or season wise since the league is still closed. But we have this. And this, of course, has been fun to do. But again, there is sorry that my words are getting mumbled, but there are everyone again, I'll say my public service announcement here on the last day of the regular season. Everyone stay safe. Be safe. Take care of yourselves first, number one. Then take care of your family. Be ready for any changes that we may, and listen to government officials. Oh, Logan, what is my favorite all-time Stanley Cup or Stanley Cup final of all time? Woo, that's a good question. Personally, I'd have to say, even though I'm a Devils fan, my second favorite team are Vancouver Canucks, and I know they didn't win this final. My favorite Stanley Cup final ever was the 2011 Stanley Cup final against Vancouver and Boston. It's absolutely one of my favorites. I think my all-time favorite. Game 1 was a superb classic goaltending matchup. Luongo was a little better than Thomas, which showed on the Yannick Hansen pass on through Rafi Torres right through the legs of Timmy Thomas. In Game 2, the huge game where the Canucks battled from back, a Daniel Sedin goal, the Burrows goal where Chara was not paying any attention and he almost hooked them and he went around Thomas. That goal was unbelievable. That game was insane. Obviously, Burrows did a few things in that game with the biting incident that not specifically are the best. Game 3, I love Alexander Edler, but one of my favorite moments, especially for the Bruins, one of my favorite moments is when Edler gets the puck off of center after the second period faceoff, which entirely changed that series. He goes down. I like a few teams, like the Bruins. I hated this as a Canuck fan, but as a supporter sometimes of Boston, when he snapped his stick in half and then Ference got the shot and Milan Lucic was in front of Luongo and he deflected it. That was a great moment. Game 3 had a ton of great moments. Game 4 where Tim Thomas gets whacked on the back, Burrows, and then of course I believe in Game 3 when Daniel gloved the puck and then Tim Thomas just wrecked them with the hit, all the fighting, all the hits, all the penalties, all the goals and stuff. I remember watching the hockey guy, one of my favorite YouTubers. He's a Canuck and a Bruins fan, number 1 and number 2, Bruins then Canucks. He, though, didn't like the physicality between his two teams and has hated this series. I could disagree so much. This is definitely one of my favorite Stanley Cup final series. 5 Game 6 was great. What was the biting incident between Alexander Burrows? I could send a link of a YouTube description between it. There was an incident with him, and I don't know if it was Lucic, but it was one of the players, and he bit someone in Game 2, and all the Bruins were asking for him to be ejected, and he never was, and it stayed into overtime, and he scored the OT goal. That was some controversy, but Burrows got his own face smashed in too later into the series. So there is that, but that's definitely my favorite Stanley Cup final of all time. I am also a big fan of the 2009 series. Again, a little bias as another of my teams is Detroit. The 2009 series, another one that didn't go well for my team, but the Red Wings Penguins 2009 Stanley Cup Finals, another one of my favorites. But my absolute favorite is 2011 Vancouver and Boston. It was Patrice Bergeron. This is the I'm just copying and pasting it. This is the thing, Logan. So you can look at this later. That's the Burrows. Yeah. The Lightning, Hurricanes, Ducks winning the Stanley Cups. Yeah, but personally, even in a watching standpoint, just as an unbiased fan, I really wasn't a fan of the Lightning of the 2004 Stanley Cup Final or the 2007 Stanley Cup Final. I did very much enjoy a 2006 Stanley Cup Final. Also, to let anyone know, because you guys don't usually comment too much, any questions, even if I'm in the middle of talking about something, any questions about hockey or about life or anything, I would greatly enjoy. This it gives me pride. But yeah, absolutely 2011 was the definitely my favorite. Also, that link that I just sent Logan is the Burrows Butting Incident. So if you want, you could check that out. Yeah, out of those three though that you just posted, 2006 is really the only one that I totally enjoyed over the other two. Not huge fans of 07 or 04. But that 06 was special. And that's the whole thing. It came out of a lockout. Whenever there's lockouts or natural causes or such that end seasons, the next season after are always unforgettable. There's just something about it. Don't know what it is. So let's get into the games today. That would be. We'll talk about the final standings, the draft projections, obviously, on Tuesday. We'll have the draft lottery, which will be a lot of fun. That's one of the things I'm really interested in doing, as well as the playoffs, which will start on Wednesday. The Blackhawks against the New York Rangers. The Rangers win 4-2. The game-winning goal there scored by Artemi Panarin. The Blues play the Avalanche, a 4-1 win for St. Louis. The game-winning goal there scored by Ryan O'Reilly. The Coyotes defeat Winnipeg, game-winning goal there scored by Clayton Keller. Carolina, that's a 4-3 win by Arizona. A 5-0 trouncing of Boston. Game-winning goal there scored by the former Bruin Dougie Hamilton. The Sabres take down Philly. A game-winning goal scored by Jeff Skinner. The Maple Leafs outlast the Canadiens 5-4. The game-winning goal there scored by Austin Matthews. The Penguins get rid of Ottawa 5-2. Game-winning goal scored there by Evgeny Malkin. The Lightning take down Detroit 3-1. The game-winning goal scored by Victor Hedman. The Capitals are beaten soundly by Florida, a 6-4 win. Game-winning goal scored by Mike Hoffman. The Islanders beat the Devils 3-2. Game-winning goal there scored by Matt Barzal. The Wild defeat Nashville, a 4-2 win. Game-winning goal scored by Mikko Koivu. The Vancouver Canucks defeat Vegas. Game-winning goal scored there by Elias Pettersson. The Calgary Flames continue their hot, please mind the pun, finish with a game-winning goal scored by Johnny Gaudreau. That's a 5-2 win. The Stars lose to the Kings. The Kings get a game-winning goal by Anse Kopitar, 3-2, and the Ducks beat the Sharks 3-0. A game-winning goal scored by Jakob Silfverberg there for Anaheim. And so that's the end of the year for the scores. Let's go right into the standings, the final standings. Boston finishes the year with 118 points. Tampa Bay finished with 108 points. The Maple Leafs have 98 points in third place, Tampa in second place. The Panthers in fourth place with 97 points. The Canadiens with 82 points. The Sabres with 77 points. The Senators with 65 points, seventh place. Buffalo sixth. Also, all past four are eliminated. The Red Wings with 46 points. In the Metropolitan, the Flyers have 107 points, 107 points in first place. The Capitals in second place have 104 points. The Penguins have 103 points in third place. The Islanders in fourth place have 102 points. The Rangers 96 points in fifth place. The Hurricanes have 93 points. The Blue Jackets have 90 in seventh place. The New Jersey Devils in eighth place with 80 points. In the Central, in the West, the Blues have 110 points, 80, and also the Avalanche have 107 points in second place. The Stars have 96 points. The Wild have 93 points. Hold on. The Jets have 88 points. The Predators have 86 points. The Blackhawks have 83 in seventh place. In the Pacific, the Canucks hold with 100 points. The Oilers hold with 95 points. The Flames have 94. The Knights have 94 as well. The Coyotes have 87. Ducks have 75. The Kings have 71. And the Sharks have 69. Now let's go to the final with the playoff seedings. Boston, as we know, finished first in the Eastern Conference and in the Atlantic. Tampa, we know, is second. Toronto Maple Leafs finished the season in third place. So Toronto get that final playoff spot in. Oh, hold on a second. I have a question. If the NHL playoffs were to happen, who would your Stanley Cup champion be at the end of the playoffs to get Lord Stanley's mug? That's what this series is for, Logan. So wait and see. I'm not sure. We'll have to look at positioning and who, again, this is not biased. This is all just with the simulator of my head, knowing how teams win and lose, knowing how the league is and how the sport has been. So the answer is that I do not know. We'll have to wait and see. So Toronto will be in third place. They'll play the Lightning in round number one. The Panthers have 97 points, the second wild card spot with they clinched the second wild card spot. They'll play the Boston Bruins, which means the Rangers are out. The Rangers are eliminated. What a wonderful season New York Rangers have had, but they are out of the playoffs. The Islanders with 102 points in fourth place. As you said, they are going to play the Philadelphia Flyers, who've won the division, and the Capitals will play the Penguins for the fourth time in 5 years. Also, I'll go through playoff matchups and who plays who and when they play in a little bit. Just after I cover the West, the Blues win the division and they get the best record in the Western Conference, home ice as far as they go, unless they play the Boston Bruins. So the two teams that went to the Stanley Cup final last year have the best chances to return. The Avalanche with 107 points are second in the Central. They'll host the Stars. In third place, the Wild in the second wild card spot will play the Blues. Also, again, stay the same route of teams in their division staying in their division for the playoffs. The Canucks will host the Golden Knights in round one. And we got a Battle of Alberta for Edmonton and Calgary. So let's go to the matchups. The Bruins, I just do history in the matchups, and then we'll tell you when they play. The Bruins play Florida. Boston Bruins have actually played the Florida Panthers only one other time in NHL history in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it actually happened also in the first round in 1996. The Panthers dispatched of Boston in 5 games. They moved on to the second round where they would beat the Flyers in 6 games, trounced Pittsburgh in 5, and were swept in the Stanley Cup final. So yes, the year of the rat, that wonderful playoff year for the Florida Panthers. It started off beating the Boston Bruins in the playoffs, so we'll see how that ends up coming through and going around for Florida. So they'll play the Boston Bruins. That's the last time they played them. They're 1-0 against the Bruins all time. Tampa plays Toronto magically and unbelievably for the first time ever. The Maple Leafs have never played the Tampa Bay Lightning in a playoff series, and they start now. In the Metro, the Flyers play the Islanders. They've played in the Stanley Cup Final before. They played a few times in checking out. I believe it's the last time since 1988. It's been some time. Playoff series. Hold on. It's not really showing me, but I believe it was 88. I'm going to take a look at. No, I know that, Logan. I wasn't looking to when they went to the final in 2010. When last time they went to the final, I was looking for the last time the Flyers played the Islanders in the playoffs, which I believe was 1988 or 89. I'm not specifically sure. Yeah, but that doesn't matter. As we go back, the Washington Capitals play the Penguins for the fourth time in 5 years. The Penguins have won every series but two. In 1994, when the Caps upset Pittsburgh, heavily favored Pittsburgh, and moved on to play the Rangers, where they lost in 5 games. And recently, back in 2018, when they advanced past them with the Yevgeny Kuznetsov goal, one I remember quite vividly, and also a goal, that, not a goal, but a year they beat the Lightning in 6 games in the 7 games in the Stanley Cup Final. So the Caps will play Pittsburgh. In the Central Division, the Blues will play the Minnesota Wild for the third time ever. They're 1-1 in the series. The Blues last beat the Wild in 5 games in 2017 off of a Jaden Schwartz overtime goal to win the series, and they lost to the Wild in 2015 in 6 games. Both times the home ice team. Recently it was Minnesota. The time before that was St. Louis. Lost the series 5 games before in 6 games. This is the third time Minnesota and St. Louis will do battle in the playoffs. They are 1-1 all time in series. The Avalanche played Dallas. It's a 2-2 series for them. The Stars beat the Avalanche twice in 7-game series in the Western Conference Final in 1999 and 2000. Then the Stars beat Dallas in 5 games in 2004 and 2006. In 2006, it was an overtime goal by Andrew Brunette, who ended up ending the season for the Dallas Stars. So there's 2-2, and now that it's going to be their 5th time playing. Dallas won the first 2 meetings. Now Colorado has won the last 2 meetings. And the series also, the home ice, forgot to say the home ice, the other teams. The home ice will be for the Panthers Bruins series. The home ice will be in Tampa for the Lightning Maple Leaf series. The home ice is in Philadelphia for the Flyers Islanders series, and the home ice is in Washington for the Capitals Penguins series. The home ice also in St. Louis for the Blues Wild series. The home ice will be in Denver for the Avalanche Stars series. In the Pacific, for the first playoff series meeting ever for the Canucks and the Golden Knights, and the first playoff meeting for the Canucks, and first playoff appearance for the Vancouver Canucks since 2015. Vancouver will play Vegas. The Canucks will have home ice. As was said, it's the first time these two teams have played ever in the playoffs. The Oilers play Calgary. These teams have played a lot, but I believe they haven't played in the playoffs since 1989, back to the Smythe days. And it's the Battle of Alberta. It's going to be a dandy. Edmonton versus Calgary, and the home ice is in Rogers Arena in Edmonton. Boy, this will be even better since the Saddledome is still there. Boy, this would be even better if Rexall Place was still standing, but it is not. So we'll move into that. We'll talk about, for 1 second, we'll talk about the odds for draft odds. I'll say first, I'll say it again on Tuesday. It's not a real lottery because I don't have that system. I don't understand that system. But what it is we'll have 15 coins labeled with each team, also pieces of paper of teams so it looks professional. And I will shake it up of the 15 coins. Anyone past 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15, if they're picked immediately, even if they're the seventh or sixth ranked or even 5, and they get picked first, then they just slide in 15. That's the worst luck you could possibly get. But if it's the 4th team, then their pick will slide to 7, not 15, because it's a lottery pick. If it's the 3rd, it will go to 6. If it's the 2nd, it will go to 5, and if it's the number 1 team, it'll go to 4. For example, if I shake it up and the best odd team are the Detroit Red Wings, if I pick Detroit immediately, they would not go to 15. They would, because they're a lottery pick, they would just go to 4th overall and would go from there. So let's announce the best odds. The best odds right now to win the lottery are the Detroit Red Wings. At number 2 is Ottawa. Number 3 are the San Jose Sharks pick, which is owned also by Ottawa. Number 4 are the LA Kings. At number 5 are the Ducks of Anaheim. Number 6 are the Buffalo Sabres. Number 7, best odds are the New Jersey Devils. Number 8 are the Montreal Canadiens. Obviously, these are also non-playoff teams. Number 9 are the Chicago Blackhawks. Number 10 are the Nashville Predators. Number 11 are the Arizona Coyotes pick, which is owned by the New Jersey Devils. Number 12 are the Winnipeg Jets. Also, that's because of the Taylor Hall trade. Number 13 are the Columbus Blue Jackets. Number 14 are the Carolina Hurricanes. And number 15 are the New York Rangers. So there's that. So for the first round games. Oh, did I say Rogers Arena? Yeah, I meant Rogers Place. Thank you for correcting me, Logan. I appreciate you. Also, that's just a quick little stumble. Appreciate it. All right, so for Tuesday, for Wednesday, for Wednesday's game, also, you may be seeing videos of goal videos and such that I usually put, if my computer will allow them to go up, in the coming days, but you will not see a live stream until Tuesday, and that'll be the lottery live stream. But Wednesday will be the start of the playoffs, and it will feature Game 1 from Amalie Arena, Tampa Bay Lightning, and Toronto Maple Leafs. Game 1 from Wells Fargo Center. Wells Fargo Arena? Wells Fargo Center. Not Maple Leafs. New York Islanders and Philadelphia Flyers. Game 1 from Enterprise Center, St. Louis Blues and Minnesota Wild, and Game 1 from Rogers Place, Edmonton and Calgary. And on Thursday, we'll have the rest of the Game 1s, then Game 2, Game 2, Game 2, like that. On Thursday, we'll have Game 1 from TD Garden, the Boston Bruins hosting the Florida Panthers. Game 1 from Capital One Arena, Caps and Penguins. Game 1 from the Pepsi Center, Avalanche hosting the Dallas Stars. And Game 1 from the Rogers Arena, Vancouver hosting Vegas. So until then, we'll see you guys. Have a great weekend. I will see you on a live stream on Tuesday. Everyone stay safe. Look forward to that video, and happy hockey, everybody.